Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast, powered by DealsInTheD.com with Mike and Jay. Shalom, Big E. How are you, Jay?
Very well.
Doing all right?
Thank you for having me back.
Throat any better?
Little better. I'm on the mend.
Very good, very good. Exciting day around here. I was just upstairs looking at Twitter, and I see Millennium Falcon trending.
Sweet.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's coming up soon. What is that, a month and a week
I think
away
it's
or
December
something?
15th.
Yeah.
The Last Jedi.
And I'm like, what did the Millennium Falcon... Did the Millennium Falcon molest somebody?
Did it die? What
Oh,
happened?
shit. Did we lose the Millennium Falcon? No, it's been hidden, and people found it on, like, Google Maps.
What?
In a farm. Yeah. Check this out. You have the picture there. I don't know what the full story...
What are those semis parked around?
Yes. Those
Or
are, like...
shipping containers?
Shipping containers. Meant to box it in, and it's, like, covered, but it's like, yeah, you can't hide the Millennium Falcon. That's the Falcon.
Is that at the end of a road or something? What? Wow. What? Why is that there?
Pull over the story, E. I probably should have researched this more before we just
So
did
it's
this.
just a full-size replica of the Millennium Falcon is stored in the U.S. somewhere, and somebody spotted it just perusing Google Maps, as we often do.
E, can you...
Or Bing Maps, whatever.
The famous spaceship was used in the filming of Star Wars Episode 8, Last Jedi, at Long Cross Studios, but is moved off site to the Barrow Hills Golf Club. And bosses have attempted to hide the vehicle, which was first piloted by Solo.
The vehicle.
Yeah, vehicle. Eagle-eyed fans have spotted it on Google Earth. How would you spot that on Google Earth?
I know.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's
what are you
crazy.
going inch by inch over a random golf course in another country? Like, how? Like, look at that, dude. How would you ever?
Maybe they looked at the studios hoping to find something like that, and then just started perusing the miles around it.
It's kind of cool.
It is, dude. I'm on kind of the Star Wars kick right now. I actually watched The Force Awakens last night. Well, just last night. Yeah, there's Sweet Pie. She's into BB-8 because one of the neighbors has the BB-8 little robot guy. You know,
Little Nut Brown.
Yeah. So she's like, "Can we watch first Force Awakens?" I'm like, yes.
Duh.
Sure.
Hell yeah. That's okay for her. That's just a PG movie,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
Yeah. That was the last installment. Was the
Indeed,
Force
episode
Awakens.
7, the one where you meet Rey and Finn and so forth.
Yes, and that silver
Sets
chick,
up the
stormtrooper.
dude. You are
I
so
fucking
smitten
love the
with Captain
stormtroopers.
Phasma.
Yeah, I just think it's a cool look. That's all. That's all. Well, I'm glad that Millennium Falcon wasn't up to any shenanigans, pulling any funny business, and is just resting peacefully here on a golf course. Anyway, a lot to get to today. Oh, Chuck Sheen. Wow,
winning.
Duh, winning.
Yeah, back in the news.
I am on a drug. It's called Jolene.
You know, I got tiger blood, man.
Tiger blood, man. Yeah. This day has probably been, a long time in the making. At this point, does anything, like Charlie Sheen hitting the papers for something like, holy shit, does he even care anymore? You think it's just like,
he's done
whatever,
it all, man.
Whatever, man. Been outed for everything, so who cares? But someone actually went on record to say the person who butt-fucked Corey Haim when he was 13 years old was Charlie Sheen on the set of the movie Lucas.
Duh, winning.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that movie. Lucas was like the little kid, and
Who did that? Was that a Spielberg or was that a...
no, I don't know, but I remember him. He was this little dopey freshman or something being picked on, and
Yeah.
I think Charlie Sheen took him under his wing. Maybe he was like the cool kid at school.
Yeah. Well, weren't there reports that Feldman was saying something? There were rumors like, he was taken behind a trailer on a movie set at Lucas maybe and smoked some weed and then, got molested by an older guy, but never said any names. And a lot of these things are starting to line up. When you look at different people's accounts,
Timing. And
they're
stuff like
they're all kind of pointing to this is what they were talking about. Now, I don't know why Feldman couldn't have just said that. He's been holding this. Someone just blew the lid off his story, apparently.
He doesn't want to get sued.
Yeah, well, Dominic Brazia didn't give a shit about getting sued.
Who's Dominic Brazia?
I guess he's
Tell me more.
former actor. I don't know who that is either. Maybe you could Bing that, E. Dominic, Brascia. He claims that Corey Haim, before he died, disclosed to him what happened between he and Sheen, Haim told me he had sex with Sheen while they filmed Lucas. He told me they smoked pot and had sex. They had anal sex. Man. Who do you think was the giver? I'm assuming Charlie was giving.
Of course.
Right? I mean, he wasn't just taking it from Haim. That would be absurd. Haim said after it happened, Sheen became very cold and rejected him. Corey wanted to fool around some more again, and Charlie was
very
like,
confusing for him.
Charlie Sheen, I'm not interested.
I don't by looking at him, I didn't recognize him. So this is, I guess these are the things he's.
I am on a drug. It's called Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen. Can we see a picture of me? I mean, like
sure.
Dominic Brazier.
I know that you don't recognize him, but that doesn't mean Jay won't recognize him.
Okay.
Or I won't recognize him.
You know, I get tiger blood, man.
Say you recognize him no matter what.
Got it.
Don't tell E.
Fuck
Oh,
yes.
fuck, dude. I've seen that guy in
Totally.
a ton of shit. Hell yes.
Everybody knows him.
What's his favorite? What's your favorite role?
Dude, there's so many. Who could count?
He's one of those guys, you know, you see him in
dude.
everything.
Yeah. It's like,
hard to
oh, that
pinpoint.
guy. Yeah. Just a
Character
super
actor.
recognizable face. Oh, yeah. Been in tons of shit.
That guy honestly does not look like an actor at all. He just looks like some computer salesman or something.
Yeah. Accountant all day long.
Yeah. That's him?
That must be a younger version.
Holy
obviously.
Wait.
shit, man.
Wait,
Go
what
back.
movie is that? I recognize that. I actually do recognize that scene. Anyway, so this is the guy that's saying this. Sheen released a statement through his representative saying, Charlie Sheen categorically denies these allegations. I am Charlie Sheen. Corey Feldman alluded to the incident in his book, Choreography. At some point during filming of Lucas, Haim explained an adult male convinced him it was perfectly normal for older men and younger boys in the business to have sexual relations, that it was what all guys do. So they walked off to a secluded area between two trailers during a break for lunch with cast and crew, and Haim allowed himself to be sodomized. That kind of plays into the account that that Dominic is saying. In 2011, when Feldman was asked about Sheen, he said, I'm not a huge fan of Charlie Sheen, especially the way he's affected other people that I know. Okay? So you're seeing
as well.
The breadcrumbs are starting to fall into place here. Tellingly, Feldman also said Haim fought for his entire life to recover from those experiences. And just last week on the Today Show, Feldman said a report coming from the National Enquirer was to be expected. Remember that? The National Enquirer is who dropped this story with Dominic. They covered up, they protected. I know of a friend of mine that actually went and spoke to a reporter and gave all the information, and they were supposed to put a story out in the National Enquirer. Other sources came forward to support the claims made by Dominic about Haim's interaction with Sheen. Another insider alleges that Corey was so confused by the encounter, he believed, like so many victims, that he was in love with his abuser.
I am on a drug. It's called Charlie Sheen.
Dominic Brazier, added that Haim told him he later had sex with Sheen while in his mid-20s. He said he had sex with Sheen again. He claimed he didn't like it and was finally over Charlie Sheen. The Enquirer say they spoke with dozens of sources. And believe me, I saw people doing this on Twitter like, well, yeah, it'd be believable except it's in the National Enquirer. Trust me, the National Enquirer is not the fucking...
Trust Mike. You can trust
You
Mike
can trust me on this one. They're not the paper anymore that's going to go, Hillary Clinton's alien baby. Like, they're just not. They have sources that, because they're going to get sued if they're wrong.
It's been like that for a long time, too. I mean,
Right.
It's been since Monica Lewinsky, right? Where they really broke a lot of that stuff.
OJ was where I really remember them. They were just breaking shit 2 days before everyone else.
Yeah.
And they were proved right over and over and over again. So the fact that it's in the Enquirer does not deter me at all. So they say they spoke with dozens of sources who say Haim told them about the abuse at Sheen's hands before he died in 2010. A confidant close to Charlie Sheen, claims the actor had said he had a liaison with Helm, but it was consensual. Other allegations in the report emerged about Sheen's behavior with at least one other minor on the set of Lucas. The report says a total of 8 set witnesses spoke out as part of this investigation. Yeah.
And not that this proves anything either, but Denise Richardson's declaration in the divorce proceedings, I guess, said a lot about him being into gay porn.
Did you read them?
Young gay porn, yeah.
See if you can find those. It's startling to read. The conversation going back and forth, and she put her name on that.
Yeah.
One woman on the set claims she was just 17 when Sheen kissed her and solicited sex from her in a bathroom. Another woman who was on set claimed she had just turned 18. They were having a cast wrap party. He found out it was my birthday. He grabbed me and gave me this elaborate kiss. He had a mouthful of steak at the time. Oh. Charlie Sheen. Charlie, you know what? Swallow the steak.
Duh. Winning.
Oh, she said it was absolutely disgusting. That would be disgusting. I don't care how hot a chick is if she goes in to make out with you and she's got a mouthful of steak. Ugh. Even filet. And I love filet. Bolstering the report, the Inquirer says, is the court filing in 2006 by Denise Richards, saying he visited websites featuring young men and girls who appeared underage. Are you struggling to find it there? Some of the things that she said, it's like she stumbled onto this stuff and was like, Charlie, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, fuck off. I'm Charlie Sheen. Get out of here. I'm Charlie Sheen.
It's very dismissive.
Yes. She said, alleged he belonged to disturbing sites which promoted very young girls who looked underage to me with pigtails, braces, and no pubic hair, performing oral sex on each other. Others involved gay porn, also involving very young boys who did not look like adults. Brazier also claims in the report that he had witnessed Haim approach Sheen one night while the actor was sitting at a table with a couple A-list stars. He said Sheen was drunk, and when Haim walked over and said, hey, Charlie, remember me? How you doing, Charlie? Sheen was like, yeah, I don't know. Who are you? I don't know you. Get out of here. Yeah, I'm Charlie Sheen. Get out of here. Later in the evening, Brazier found himself face-to-face with Charlie Sheen, and he told him, yeah, I'm not really that drunk. I just don't like that little asshole. I hate that asshole. Get him out of here. He's a freaking jerk. Yeah. Sheen also allegedly shoved Judy Haim, the mother of Corey. He said something like, I hate your fucking son. If I ever see him, I'm going to flush his head down the fucking toilet. Get the fuck away from me. And then shove her into a wall.
I've got those
nice.
right here. Yeah, he reiterated that there was nothing wrong with the sites that he was accessing and that I needed to turn my head and ignore it. The respondent then told me to go fuck myself.
Yeah.
And turned around and stormed out of the house. I told him that if he continued his lifestyle, this is Denise Richards saying that this would affect our relationship with the girls. Where they have 2 young girls at the time.
Yeah, I thought he had a boy, too.
He became very angry and told me that this is my last warning, and that if I revealed anything about his lifestyle, you won't lay your head down at night.
Yeah, I'll kill you is what I mean.
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen. I can have
He
it
wanted
done.
me to simply forget about it and to move forward. Respondent promised that he would not be with prostitutes. However, he told me that he was not going to give up his gambling nor his pornography habits, and that I had to accept it.
Yeah, get over it. Fuck off.
I told him that I discovered some of the pornography websites that he belonged to, which I found very disturbing. Websites which promoted very young girls who looked underage to me with pigtails, braces, and no pubic hair performing oral sex on each other. I also told him about other websites I discovered that he accessed involving gay pornography, also involving very young men who also did not look like adults. When I confronted Charlie Sheen about this information, he did not deny it. I told him that as a mother, I found this information very disturbing because he had 2 young daughters, and I believed he had a serious problem which he needed to deal with, and that he should not be around our children. At that point, I asked him, shit.
Did you lose it?
Yeah, lost it. You get the picture.
Did you get it? Yeah. Dude, it's funny. Whenever I read something like that, I immediately put you in that situation and me in that situation. It's like, if I'm on my computer and Beth were to walk in or something and be like, what the fuck? And it's like, yeah, fuck off. I'm Mike Walters. Get out of here. You don't like it, leave.
It's just absurd.
And it's just like you're looking at kids with pigtails and shit. Yeah, get out of here. Do you know who I am? Fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, dude, really? How does it get there? How does it get there?
It's deviant, man.
It's crazy.
But yeah, this is kind of a frontier where you cannot, nobody can be comfortable with these sorts of allegations. I mean, the dude, you're right. He's been out there every which way, all sorts of allegations of crazy shit he's done. But this has to concern you.
It's almost disappointing in a way when you hear it's Charlie Sheen, because it's like, well, yeah, obviously it's Charlie. Of course it's Charlie Sheen. Of course it's Charlie that has AIDS. Of course it's Charlie that's fucking all the prostitutes. Of course it's Charlie that's molesting children. Yeah, of course. Like, it's not...
Yeah, but Feldman's original allegations was this was a huge, widespread thing among high-level producers and directors and movie moguls.
Yeah.
And so there's still that out there.
Well, there was that other girl that said, too, like, I don't know what level, but we all knew that the Feldman-Haim guys were being passed around. And she said, I remember it being more behind-the-scenes people that were really aware of it, which would add to this story when they're talking to 8 people from on set. That could be a grip. It could be a, a...
Best boy.
A best boy, exactly. It could be anything,
What the hell is a best boy? You ever wonder that as you're looking at credits?
He's not just a boy, dude. He's the best boy. I mean, that's what he is. Isn't the grip the guy that holds that?
That's what I always thought, but maybe not. I don't know.
I think it is. What's a best boy? Best
Ding it.
boy.
the assistant to the chief electrician on a movie crew.
The assistant to the chief electrician.
That's interesting. That has to do with electricians. You know?
Yeah, yeah. Wow, interesting. Sorta, kinda. What a weird time in life. This whole Charlie Sheen thing for the last few years. You know, like it's just crazy to think that this guy just a handful of years ago is on the biggest show in TV, making more money than anyone in sitcom history, like $2 million an episode, and destroyed it all
Yeah,
for
the whole
apparently
Chuck
no
Sheen
reason.
episode. Before the show today, I was trying to remember, like, how did the Chuck Sheen episode all come to be? And that's what it was. He ruined his spot on 2.5 Men.
Mm-hmm.
That people were bitching about him, and ultimately he was let go from that. And that's where that whole bullshit thing with his tour and the Tiger Blood Man and all
Yeah.
these weird interviews came
Yes.
from. That was so odd.
I think it was Chuck Lorre who developed that show, among others, and was, you know, the main guy that put that show together, and he was dogging Chuck Lorre, if I have that right.
Yeah.
Like in public, and then he started dogging, what's his name, who played Ducky in 16 Candles, right? Isn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, he started bashing him, who was his co-star on that show, and I think then he started doing the, Charlie Sheen, I got Tiger Blood, man, yeah. Like all that shit, and people were just like, what the fuck? And finally, they just had to fire his ass. And it went from $2 million an episode to unemployed, and then, yeah, that weird tour, which I went to.
Yeah, at the Fox,
I was
it?
there, yeah. Yep.
Nice.
His tickets sold out, like, amazingly fast.
And remind me, what did he do? He just got up and...
Nothing. He did not. It was hilarious. I'm so glad I went. I have a program
Didn't he
upstairs
have
from
the
it.
Angels with him or
Yeah.
something like that? Yeah, he had a couple chicks.
But
Didn't you guys? Wasn't there a whole thing where you were going to pick an angel for him too, and she was going to do something with him?
Yeah, like they wanted us to promote it. Like we were the big morning show in Detroit, and it was launching in Detroit. And so they're like, "Yeah, we'll get you an interview with Charlie Sheen." I was like, "Okay, well, we'll talk to Charlie and blah blah blah." And then it was one of those like,
Wasn't it like-
"Yeah, he's calling you in 20 minutes." Yeah, 20 minutes goes by. Yeah, he's calling you in an hour, and it was like this whole thing. It's like, where the fuck
Wasn't
is
there a
this
5
guy?
in the morning thing too at one time or something?
Yeah,
Like it was like you were supposed
but
to.
I think we did finally get a hold of him, right?
I don't think that you did
No.
on the air. I don't think you. Maybe
I don't
you did.
remember.
That was a big deal then, though. He was like
Dude.
the hottest guy
Yeah.
in the world for
It's a
that
national
for that,
story.
Like, 2,
And Detroit
3
was the
weeks, you
first
know?
stop of it.
Yeah.
So Detroit was like, because it fizzled after that. I think it eventually went away. It went
Oh.
Detroit to Chicago, and I forget where after that.
Because he had
But-
just had no plan.
Yeah.
None. No.
Just show up
He
and-
put it together and was like, "Yeah, I'll be in Detroit in a week." And it's like,
But I remember him too touting like this is going to be the most amazing show ever and all this shit.
And he came here,
Zero
and it
plan.
was nothing, and
like,
people
everybody
were
was
just
here.
laughing.
Everybody
But there was
was-
international news people here covering it,
Yeah.
and then word got out like, "Oh yeah, he's got no show. This is hilarious.
Wow.
It's a debacle." And then I think he was trying to bring bands in to like, the Butthole Surfers will be with me in Chicago, you know. And it was just like, what? But then, yeah, he had his slutty girls. I don't know, it's just so weird. Just weird. But, yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll know more about that story in the coming days. I'm sure more and more people will come out. But, boy, this whole #MeToo thing is really,
Upset some things.
dude.
It's interesting.
It really has.
Hey, the most incredible deals of the year only happen once, and that's during ZOT M59 Chrysler Jeep's Black Friday sales event going on right now. During this once-a-year sales event, you can lease a new 18 Chrysler 300 with heated leather seats, heated steering wheel, 8.5-inch touchscreen, and all-wheel drive at just $279 a month. See all the details and surf their massive inventory at dealsinthed.com. Get there.
The story doesn't end. Kevin Spacey being replaced on his new movie by Christopher Plummer. Not terribly familiar with that name. I'm
Certainly more familiar with the name than the face. Like you've heard the name a million times, right?
Christopher Plummer.
Yeah.
Really? No. You have?
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
I couldn't place him, though.
So the movie, it looks pretty good. It's called All the Money in the World. It's supposed to come out in 6 weeks, and so he's been written out of the film. Like he's like the main guy in this
Just going to
film.
reshoot major scenes of this thing
I guess
and
it's
then
a
release it
it's
in
a-
6 weeks?
It's a big. Oh yeah, I recognize him. It's a big Ridley Scott movie. I don't know if you know what it's about, but this like oil tycoon who Spacey was playing. His grandson gets kidnapped, and they want like $12 million to bring him back. And this oil tycoon at the time is the richest man on the planet, and he's like, "Nope, not paying it."
Ooh.
Yeah. And he's like, if I pay it, then all 14 of my other grandchildren are at risk of being kidnapped as well.
Wow.
And I don't know how it ends. I really don't remember.
Gotta break some eggs to make an omelet, right?
That was like when that one, remember like dude, Formula One owner or whatever, his
Absolutely.
mother-in-law got kidnapped, and he's like, we want $1 million. He's like, no.
It's like, no, this is perfect scenario.
Yeah.
I'm not paying $1 million for my mother-in-law.
So yeah, the cast and crew have all agreed to reshoot Spacey's scenes and are said to be determined to stick to that December 26th release date or 22nd release date. The reshoots are commencing immediately with Plummer taking on the role of the oil tycoon J. Paul Getty. Yeah, so they said that it's going to be tricky because I guess Spacey shot on location, like in weird places, and so
Sure, yeah.
So they're like, well, I don't know
sure
if we have time to do that, but.
It's got to be really complicated. Main character?
Yeah. They say visual effects will be the main problem. It's not yet clear how Scott will bring about the swap at such short notice, seeing many of his shots were filmed in odd locations. But, yeah, I guess also in this movie, it sounds pretty good. Mark Wahlberg's in it and Gail Harris. I don't know who that is, but...
Boy,
yeah.
These reactions have been swift and serious, haven't they? Like, would you have expected when the Spacey thing broke that they'd be taking him out of a movie that's set to be released in 6 weeks?
No.
Right? Isn't that amazing?
What do they do with House of Cards? Because House of
Is
Cards...
it still on Netflix? You know what I mean? Like, I know that
I
it is
thought
right
they
now.
said they
but-
were going to... Like, this shit came out. This isn't anything new. I mean, he's funneling dicks and balls. I mean, he's been doing it forever. But... that show was supposed. I thought they said, "Yep, season 5 is set to be released, and then he will not be back. He will not be on set again." And so it's like, wow, do we kill him off? How are they going to do this? But do they even want to put House of Cards out for another season with him in it?
I know this move by this movie production that certainly puts their feet to the fire.
It sets precedent. Like, yes, we're so good. We cut him out.
You're
completely.
so honorable.
And I always wonder about their motives because I'm always like, yeah, you fuckers. That's free press. You just got free mentions all over the globe.
And like you say, everybody in the industry knew what was going on, and they only react when people make us think about it.
Yep, exactly.
You know what's funny when you go back to that the kidnapping aspect, it just makes me think like you do gotta like if you're gonna kidnap somebody and the goal is to make money, you gotta make sure the person you're kidnapping, that the people you're
Gives a
taking them
fuck.
from, like you cannot
them, yeah.
you cannot. I just remember watching the show Weeds. I don't know if it was on Showtime or not, but there was a thing in that movie where at one point this mom who's kind of everyone hates goes down to Mexico, gets kidnapped, and he's calling all her friends like, yeah, we want 10 million or whatever
They're
for her,
like,
and they're all like,
"Fuck off."
yeah, fuck her, she's a
Yeah.
bitch, and none of them want her. And
Little
they're just
fly
like,
in the ointment.
So it's just like you got to make sure, man. If you're gonna like if someone kidnapped me, no one's paying any money.
No.
But what if some idiot is just like stumbled upon the Detroit cast and was like, well, he's on this show, I'm gonna kidnap him, and then he's like,
I mean, $1,000 would you?
No, we'd pay $1,000 for them to keep him.
right,
But
so
like
that's-
$500. Would we at least like tap listeners? Like, if we can raise $500, we'll.
you could start a
give them the ransom.
I guess we
Kickstarter
could
at least.
take a Twitter poll or something. You know?
Yeah, it's fair.
Speaking of Twitter, dude, you see 280 characters now? Have you
did.
tweeted such yet?
Sort of.
Yeah.
And I was embarrassed by my tweet.
What happened to it? Is it still up? So we can see it?
No, it's
no.
deleted.
Oh no.
I didn't know that they had 280 characters. I found out yesterday, and I was like, well, hello, Twitter. All these words. My thumbs are starting to hurt from all the words I can type. Blah, 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 and la, 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 la. I went on and on and on and on about how there's so many words now I can put on Twitter, and I don't know what to do with all these extra words and stuff. And then I hit send, and Jay was like, yeah, like everybody did that last night. I mean,
Whole
that's-
world last night when this was announced did that very thing.
Yeah, like
oh my gosh,
everyone.
look at how far I can go. Whoa, look
I
at,
could just
I
keep
can just
typing
keep
and
typing and typing and typing until they tell me to stop.
I was like, oh, man, I'm a sheep? You're like, well, sort of. And I'm
Well, it
like,
just wasn't. It was a fine thought, Mike. It just wasn't an original thought. And I
I-
know there's very little original thought out there anymore, especially in the Twitter sphere. You
Well,
tried. You were just late to the game.
I did, and it wasn't like I read 40 people
Yeah,
do
and
that
then
and
you
then went,
decided,
oh, yeah.
I'm going to do this.
I'm going to do that. That's creative. No, it I
thought
honestly
of it.
hit my head, and
Yeah.
it was like, that's kind of funny. And then it made perfect sense. Like, yeah, it was so easy. It was teed up so easily. Of course everyone did
Yeah,
that.
I'm not sure how I feel about this. I haven't yet tweeted a 280 character tweet,
Yeah.
but I kind of like that about Twitter, that you had to be pithy.
Yeah.
You had to think about it, and it's obviously just a reaction to the failing platform that is Twitter, and they're seeing that people want to converse more than just
Yeah.
it was set up so that you couldn't converse a long time. It was meant to just be boom, tweet it out there, get your thought out there. And
Yeah.
what they found is people were doing multiple tweets to get their thought across, or they were getting frustrated that they were getting themselves in trouble because they couldn't express themselves.
Yeah, properly.
Lots of people, oh, dude, that's not what I meant, and then they
Yeah.
end up in this big Twitter war. And then
What
they
was it
see
before?
how
140 characters?
140, and
Yeah.
they see how Facebook is so effective in allowing anything and conversations go on and on.
So I understand what you're saying, but why do you care? Like, no one's making you use all 280 characters. You
Oh, I
can
know. I
still
might
personally stick to
still-
140.
I may restrict myself.
Yeah. Hard to do, but I could see, of all people, you doing that.
Just as a personal goal.
Yeah.
You know what? Not using your extra
No.
140.
Keep
I don't
'em.
need them.
Keep them.
Yeah.
I don't want them. Yeah, I suppose it's, I
It's
don't
a
care.
desperate play. Think about that. That was fundamentally what their platform was.
Yeah, and
Short, pithy messages, and now
Yes.
they've expanded it.
Like, isn't the point of Twitter to just, like, random thoughts through the day? It's turned into this. It's turned into where we just throw spears at each other. One person does something, the news hits this, and then it's like everyone has their snarky, shitty comment. Like, there's nothing nice going on Twitter. Twitter is a fucking hellhole. That's
Yeah,
all it
it
is.
really is.
But, it's meant for people like Big E who are like, yep, out here for a walk today. The flowers look beautiful. Hashtag flowers. Like, just daily, random, whatever hits your head thoughts. And, now it's turned into something different. And so I kind of understand why they're doing that.
Well, it's turned into something different, and moreover, they're desperately trying to make money. The thing is failing as a
Yeah.
business model. I love your idea. You can state your idea again.
Well,
Go ahead.
I
It's
don't.
teed up.
Well, yeah. I just thought like it would be very, very simple, and you would have to use big companies really, where if I sent out a new tweet, my followers would see that tweet, but it would be covered with a Coca-Cola logo,
A translucent. logo.
translucent
But now
one.
Coca-Cola
Hold on. Coca-Cola's paying for this, or Wendy's, whatever. It's over the thing, and it doesn't. I don't have to watch a commercial. I don't have to read something dumb. I just Coca-Cola. Yep.
Like this tweet
Boom.
is brought to you by Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it's hit my psyche. It's kind of the subliminal message, the
But, dude-
popcorn that flashes up on the screen in a movie. And you click it, and then my tweet shows up. And then you see it.
Now Coca-Cola is responsible, or whoever the 5 companies are responsible for every tweet that someone like, if I send
That's
out,
a great
you know what,
thoughty.
F black people.
Yeah. This Coca-Cola has endorsed that, literally
Yeah.
endorsed that tweet.
And now they have to go.
It's a good point. I'm not saying it's perfect.
Yeah, who's going to
Coca-Cola does
police
not
it?
know who Big E is, and we do not hate black people.
We do not know who at Big E Detroit Cast is.
What if we all agreed, like, look, leave Coca-Cola out of this, and Wendy's and McDonald's. It has
gonna
nothing to
agree
do
to that?
this. If I write the N-word 10 times, it's not Coca-Cola approved, okay? If we can all
Do not
agree to that.
necessarily express the thoughts of Coca-Cola.
Yes, we used to put that on our TV shows. The views expressed are not those
So does it have to
necessarily
say
those.
that at the bottom of the translucent image? Coca-Cola, buy Coca-Cola. However, the thoughts
views
expressed in
expressed-
this tweet.
Do not represent the
Yeah.
thoughts. Yeah,
That's
We
a
only want
huge
you to-
problem that he just
it is.
aptly pointed out.
Yeah.
I mean, he just fucked your whole business model,
Nah,
man.
he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
I don't
he
think,
did.
I don't think so because I don't think people.
How
I
do
don't
you
think
get
people
over
are
that?
going to blame Coca-Cola. They understand. They're
Dude, you see what people do on Twitter? That's all they do is gotcha moments. You
I
don't
know.
think they're going to go, oh, screenshot. Look
Dukes
at
of
what
Hazzard isn't
Coca-Cola
on
is
TV
literally
anymore.
endorsing.
No. That's okay for the first week. It's like, whoa, Coca-Cola. It's like, no, they're not. It's just random. It's random. They don't pick what they're on. It's random. And after a week, we'd get used to that and just be like, oh, yeah, Coca-Cola. I hate black people. Oh, fucking what a dick. You go on to the next one. Brought to you by Wendy's.
You just deftly parried your suggestion away.
Well, what's your solution?
Oh, I have none.
Instead of just shitting on my
No,
brilliant idea, what is your solution?
We didn't claim to have any. You claimed to be able to solve Twitter's problems.
And a retard fucked it up.
You just
Unbelievable.
Just kick the legs out.
Still think there's something there.
I don't, for the reasons expressed by E.
Dude, isn't it remarkable, though, that this, like, everybody's on Twitter. I know there's people that are like, fuck Twitter, and I get it. I was that way for a long, long time. But there are a few billion people on Twitter. Like, how can they not make money? How can it not make
Number
money?
one, more people are on Facebook.
Yeah,
But-
of course.
But, and there's so many more bots on Twitter. Like, I wonder how many of those, you just threw out a number, I know, but
Yeah.
I wonder what percentage of people, quote unquote, on Twitter are bots versus real people.
Yeah.
But, dude, yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, that's the biggest thing. How could you not have, in this time, come up with a way to make money off this shit?
And Facebook did for a long time, said, we can't make money. And now they're making a shitload, aren't they? By doing all the,
Oh, yeah.
by just going, yeah, we're not going to let you Facebook post to all your friends.
And it's on the
stuff.
way to more and more restriction.
Yeah.
Every year they have more and more restriction on what can freely be done. It's obviously becoming a pay-to-play platform.
Well, did you hear the newest from Facebook this last week?
No.
Where they're getting slammed for this, but I don't know that it's a terrible idea, but it's definitely controversial. And they have a plan to get. They want users to send us your nudes, send us your nude photos from your phone, and so we can block revenge porn at a later date. It's not bad, right? The scheme, and there's a trial going on in Australia right now. It will use image recognition technology to identify individual photos and stop the same images from being uploaded by a jilted lover.
Dude, how about you send a headshot and it recognizes
I
your
know.
headshot, and if that headshot's attached to a pair of tits and vagine, we'll block it.
Yeah, but then the people at
That
Facebook
is
can't see the
absurd.
tits and the
This
vagine.
is the same guy who emailed John Podesta and asked for his Gmail account password.
Yeah.
There's no way this is real.
This is real. Users say those images, so they'll blur them. They'll blur those images, and so that nobody can see them. But Facebook has to look at them at first. So, yeah, Facebook employees are going to see your titties and vagine, but whatever. That's it.
Who is going to do that?
And people are like, yeah, but what if someone hacks you? And then even if you've blurred them, here
Yeah.
I am gagging on a giant cock, and it's
No,
blurred a little bit. So what?
Explain to me why my question doesn't hold there. Why can't you just send a fucking face shot?
I know, they already have all our faces from our profile pictures. Just use those.
Right? If you see my face attached to some dude with a dick, please blur that.
I don't think it works like that because what they're doing is taking the actual image. They're taking this image and they're saying if this image shows up anywhere, it's blocked. It
now you're
doesn't
gonna
go
send-
anywhere because it's got a
absurd.
tag on it. It's got a tag on it. So what you would do is send nude pictures to yourself through Messenger.
You guys in the videos too?
I don't know. It'd be like sending yourself your image in email, but obviously this is a much safer, secure, end-to-end way of sending the image without sending it through the ether.
Nothing is secure on the internet. I mean, it's
Once the image has been sent, Facebook will then hash that image, creating a digital fingerprint or link. This means that only that image will be blocked. They're not storing the image, they're storing the link and using artificial intelligence and other photo matching technologies. So if somebody tried to upload that same image, which would have the same digital footprint or hash value, it would be prevented from being uploaded. There you go.
I hate to be a wet blanket here, but, can we just stop taking nudes of each other?
dude,
Just
no.
bang each other.
Back up.
Back up. Why are there all these damn nudes, everybody? Just
Sometimes you want a receipt. You want proof of entry. You know
jump
what I
in
mean?
the closet and bang. What? Come on.
Rude. I don't want to be a prude.
Oh,
or
I'm
wet
talking to a
blanket.
guy who's claimed on these
Yeah,
very
no, I
airways,
don't-
Mike,
I
to have
don't-
never taken a nude pic of himself.
Yes,
So
but
don't-
I've seen Jennifer Lawrence's butthole and I liked it. And I want to continue to see those. I don't want to discourage that behavior.
Ken Bone, circa 2017.
Oh, shit. So, well, you guys aren't going to do it, but no one in this room takes pictures of their dong. So what do we have to worry about?
Yeah, no, I'm just kind of like stepping back and going, yeah, no, okay, I like that Facebook is trying to solve this. That's great and everything. Seems really,
Yeah.
really kosher. But isn't there another way to solve this? Like, stop taking pictures of your nude vagine for every boyfriend you have in your life,
Hey,
Does every
back up,
fucking
back
boyfriend you
up.
have deserve to have
Settle down,
your
fools.
nude spread eagle vagine?
Let's not get crazy.
these thoughts do not express the thoughts of other members of the Detroit Cast.
Yeah, stop raining on our parade, man. No,
I have.
I think if you're that girl though, right now, that's like, fuck, I took 1,000 like wide open vagine shots,
We're so in love.
butthole shots, and now fuck that guy, and he's got them all on his phone. You're in panic mode if he's being a dick, and it's like for that girl,
Dude,
and
I
she's
understand.
like, dude,
No, I understand. The toothpaste is out of the tube at that point.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
suggesting. I know it's weird in this culture, this day
that'll
and
probably
age,
happen. That'll probably
to
happen.
suggest that you just don't take pictures of your spread vagine.
Yeah,
and
that's-
if you do it, don't take it with your face on it.
Well, yeah, that's the hope that that'll happen because that sounds realistic and possible. So let's not try to fix the problem. Let's just tell everyone to stop taking pictures of their
Worked
junk.
well with Prohibition.
I know it's the abstinence argument, right?
Yeah.
When people go, "Oh, how do we solve this AIDS problem? Abstinent, just don't have sex, before marriage."
Back up.
And everybody
Let's not get
wants
crazy.
you.
Settle
Oh
down.
my God.
Impossible.
What a reasonable answer, goddammit.
How about we have an actual solution here? Get ridiculous here.
This isn't the comedy hour.
Just saying. Hey, You have an annual physical to make sure you're healthy. What do you do to make sure you remain financially fit? Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial specializes in thoughtful and objective investment guidance designed to keep your finances in shape. Call today, 248-626-2000, and ask for Mark.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
Hey, speaking of pictures, I took the liberty of downloading some of the Jerry Hamlin pub event pictures to our website. So if you're on DetroitCast.com, you can go to photos, and there's a new picture gallery of Jerry pictures, very well taken by Stacy
Amazing.
Gingras, who was on site taking some professional grade photos. So
What
you'll
a
enjoy
freaking
those.
difference, man. Like, I know it's awesome with our iPhones because, I'm not going to carry around a camera anymore because it's good enough, when you do things. But when you see somebody with a real camera, like the lighting
these are
and these
great.
pictures, they're just amazing.
I think it's bullshit, dude, because I suck at taking pictures with my iPhone. Like, I see people's pictures, and it's like, oh, that's amazing. You took that with an iPhone, and mine suck. They always suck.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Is there, like, special lighting things I'm supposed to do?
I think the other
like,
thing is, dude, as honestly, phones, and I know not that you have an older one, I think these things get worn out so fast. I think if you bought a new, it wouldn't even have to be an i8 or whatever where they are at i10 or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you went and just bought a new version of even your phone, I think they just wear out so fast. You think about that lens is just sitting open all day. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe it has nothing to do with it. Who knows?
Yeah. You have nothing to back up your claims right now, do you? Absolutely nothing.
I mean,
Speculation and conjecture.
Other than the thought that
both.
technology does wear out, and phones are definitely not meant to last 2 or 3 years
Well,
anymore.
when yours is scooting across a gravel driveway every day as it
Right.
falls out of your pocket, or
Yeah.
at the
Well, what's
gas
Mike's
station gets
example?
run over, that shit's gonna get worn out. But most people,
Take care of it.
most
No.
people's lenses don't get fucked up on their phones. I wouldn't think.
I'll admit, mine did. I dropped mine a while ago, and that's why my pictures suck now. But even before that, it was like I'd be in a restaurant, and it's like, yeah, they look fucking dark, and then I'd see someone else's, and they look great. I don't know.
No,
whatever.
dude, I noticed that freaking Guns N' Roses when Slash was doing guitar solos and the light were on him. I was trying to take pictures, and all I could see is the freaking light. And I looked at a few other people's photos, and I'm like, man, he's right in the middle of the light. It's awesome. It looks amazing. I was looking at other people's screens.
That's
and
what I
seeing
saw
that
too.
looks-
Mine looks blurry and washed out. I can't see shit, and then someone else is like, fucking yeah, sweet picture of Slash.
It's probably a single setting. They just check a box.
Yeah,
you
check
know?
it. Dude, check the fucking I want good-looking pictures
Well,
box. Why didn't you check? Did you check your I want good-looking pictures box?
Yeah.
Moron. I didn't know it had that box.
Settings.
Steven Seagal, come on down. You're the next. You're the next to be called out for inappropriate behavior.
Boy, that's surprising, huh?
Well, what are they going to do? He lives in Russia now.
Does he really?
Yeah, he's like friends with Putin. I saw him in an interview, and he was recently, and
He's still big and fat.
yeah, sort of. Portia de Rossi, is she the one that's dating
Ellen's girl.
Yeah, Ellen's girl. I used to think she was hot as shit. Not Ellen, but Portia.
She
Like
used
an
to
Ally
be,
McBeal
dude.
or-
She has had so much work done, and you really realize it when you watch.
Yeah. Ally McBeal, Scandal.
No, the please listen. I'm trying to come up
I
with.
know, I
the,
am trying to listen.
the fucking Michael. God damn it!
Michael, is it a TV show, a movie?
It's the sitcom that was on for several years on Fox, and then it went to Netflix for one season. Portia de Rossi.
Arrested Development.
Yes. So you watch Arrested Development and you see all those years prior, and she looks one way, and then she comes back to Netflix. It's like I honestly was like, is that her?
Yeah.
Is that seriously her?
Dude, that's funny you say that because I was looking at pictures as this story was out, and I'm like, fuck, what happened to her? She looks gross for some reason. I always thought she was really hot. And it's like, I don't know. It's just weird.
How
She's
is she
a
involved
beautiful
with
girl.
Seagal? She's claiming Seagal.
Yeah,
diddled her or
he
something?
unzipped his pants in front of her during an audition for one of his films. My final audition for a Seagal movie took place in his office. He told me how important it was to have chemistry off screen. A lot of them do. That's their move. It's important that we have off screen and on screen chemistry. So why don't you come to my place and I'll show you my dong and we'll see what happens. And so he unzips his pants, unzipped his leather pants. Oh, Steven. Anyway, I ran out and called my agent, and she got out of there. And I guess she didn't get the part. But so one of at least 7 women who have now come forward to accuse Seagal of sexual misconduct. Last week, Julianne Margulies. I think it's Margiles. She
Is she on ER?
is she? I never watched ER, but maybe. She was on The Good Wife.
Okay.
Familiar with that one? I've heard of it. Never watched it, though. She was cornered at gunpoint in a hotel room by Seagal.
Oh, my God.
I don't know that that's... It sounds like he had a gun on him, so...
Probably a prop.
Yeah. So she was on a radio show, a Sirius XM show, Jenny Hutt's show, and she said Weinstein had attempted to lure her into his hotel room, and then later Seagal did the same thing while brandishing a gun.
Why don't we just read the short list of Hollywood people who have not sexually harassed people?
Yeah,
and then be done with it.
I don't think there is a list. I don't know that anyone's gotten away unscathed.
She's going to go one by one every day. They're going to come out with this. Wow, is he big?
Wow.
That hair looks
He's
natural.
of size.
He is of size. That is a big, big man. I used to like his
A
movies.
grizzly bear of a man at this point.
Yeah.
It's definitely natural at his age, I'm sure, to have jet black hair
Jet
and
black.
jet black and a jet black goatee. Like, right?
I'm sorry, but, I know these girls want these parts, but it's like, Steven would like to run some lines with you at his hotel room at 10 o'clock at night. Can you be there? It's like, I don't know. I would think twice about that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I would show up at his
Alone,
place.
right?
Yeah, there was one other one, another chick that he answered the door in a silk robe.
He always wears these like Asian style
Yeah.
tops and things.
65, by the way.
Yeah, he looks it.
Yeah, no, but a lot of
Not that
65.
hairline though.
Right.
That hairline is beautiful. He answered the door in a silk robe and had her perform in front of him while he sat in a throne. He exposed himself. He never exposed himself to her, but then there was Ray Dong Chong. She says she went for a private audition. He answered the door in a bathrobe and then sat down and man-spread. Spread his legs a little bit to make sure she could absolutely see all of his dick and balls. And then I was like, oh, sorry about that. Excuse me. Covered up. She's
That's
like,
really astounding.
nice try. And then this picture came out of a young Katherine Heigl at 16 was in a movie with him. And
Catherine. Oh yeah, this is this came out a couple weeks ago where she.
oh, it came out longer than that ago. It was Kimmel pulled that up when she was on his show. a
Yeah, I
year
know,
ago.
but the whole I understand that, but
Yeah.
the whole bitching about this, she's revisited this.
Yeah.
And the fact that she's smiling and seemingly happy in that while he's grabbing her boob when she's 16.
Yeah.
And she's now,
That's inappropriate, right? That's
Yeah, that's a nervous smile, no doubt.
You think so? What do you think? Inappropriate?
Yeah, I guess. No,
I wanted to throw it around the horn and see if we were all on the
for
same
sure,
page.
of
That's
course.
terrible. Absolutely
I
inappropriate.
am shocked that Steven Seagal did these things. and
When
is
it comes
accused
to-
of doing these things.
I can't think of Steven Seagal without seeing patty cakes sitting on your fucking beanbag watching Seagal movies.
I can't think of Steven Seagal without imagining him running. Did you ever watch how stupid he runs?
No.
He runs in a very odd way. His back is really straight, yeah, and his arms like pump in a stupid way.
Why?
I
Is
don't
there a
know,
reason
but
for
it's
this?
a thing. Like other people have noticed this too. It's not
Really?
just me. You can probably
Bing
YouTube
Seagal running.
honestly, and people have been ripping on this guy for years.
All right, let's see.
Watch this dude run.
Runs like a girl, someone says.
Look at him go. Look at him go. Very straight back,
Totally.
arms down. Just doesn't look athletic, you know?
No.
It's odd.
Did you like his movies at all?
There's a period where, I guess I was watching those dumb action quote-unquote movies. And no, I never was like, wow, that was fucking awesome. I got to see that again.
Dude,
But
I got into a period there where I loved Steven Seagal's movies.
Him and
He was
Van
breaking
Damme.
arms and not Van Damme so much, but Seagal. I did like his stuff. I don't know why.
Look at him
Kind of
run.
embarrassed about it now. Yeah.
Hey, got to tell you about the Hamlin Pub. They have 5 locations, Clarkston, Chesterfield, Rochester, 2 of them in Shelby Township, as you know. Hamlin Pub offers a wide selection of craft beers, most of which are brewed right here in Michigan. They have great happy hour specials Monday through Friday, 2 to 6. Half off appetizers on Monday. Check out all their specials. All 5 locations. Go to hamlinpubs.com for more info.
I know sexual assault is obviously very serious, but if he is living over in Russia and he's not really doing anything anymore, I mean, would they really?
How are they going to extradite
They
him?
drag him over here?
No.
Fuck.
Russia's
So will it
not
just
gonna
kind of be
Russia?
like,
Yeah.
oh well?
That's where Snowden was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a total.
Very difficult to get my man back.
And he's friends with Putin. Putin's not going to send him here. Boy, the Texas church shooter, his father finally broke his silence. And we get a nice little glimpse of the house that Devin was living in. Devin Kelly. You want to see
He was well kept.
his crib there?
Are you kidding me?
Nope. Yep. That's his old man's house. What is that, 20 bedrooms? Nice pool. I mean, it's an absolute mansion. So 61-year-old spoke with...
Was he living there, or did he have a falling
yeah.
out with his dad and wasn't?
No, he's living there. Yep.
Wow, okay. Tough life, man.
Michael Kelly is the father, and he was talking to ABC News off camera. But he says, we are grieving. Our family is grieving. And he said his 26-year-old son was living there before carrying out the worst shooting in state history. And this is what his dad said. I don't want our lives, our grandchildren's lives, destroyed by this media circus. Okay. Well, maybe keep a better eye on your kid then. I don't know what to tell you, dude. I mean, your kid just committed horrible mass murder in a church in Texas. I don't think now is the time to be lashing out at us.
Blaming the media.
Yeah, for like ruining, what do you expect?
Is it possible this looks way more grand from the air than it really is? You look at it, like the lawn is shitty with a big dirt pile in the front of the house.
Yeah.
Can we get a street view of this, E?
Okay, well, what is all this? Are you saying...
I mean, you can't deny the square footage. You can't deny the square footage, the number of bedrooms and so forth.
Do these represent individual rooms?
Not necessarily.
Okay. I see what you're saying, but it looks like we've got a pool house maybe, and the pool's nice.
Definitely have a pool, but do the grounds around the house concern you at all?
A little bit, yeah.
But it's also Texas. They don't necessarily have, green. I'm guessing, right? They don't necessarily have lawns that are all green like ours here.
Yeah, not in all parts, but
yeah. He and his wife Rebecca own a software company. Probably Rebecca started that, and then Michael married into Rebecca's software company.
Why would you question whether the wife of this guy is smart or not? Honestly, why do you throw that out?
What was I saying? I don't know. It just says they own a software company together. It was just.
Is it possible she started the company?
It's probable. It's probable. Which is why I said what I said. What sucks about this is when you go, and a lot of people are doing this, pulling the timeline of this Devin Kelly, and when people are like, "Yeah, well, we just need better mental health." Whatever out there, and then we wouldn't have these people doing mass shootings. And it's like at every turn there was a way to stop this dude, and nobody did shit. And that's the problem with this. When you talk about the spectrum that people are on with guns and stuff. So anyway, he escapes from a mental hospital in 2012. Police arrest him again and bring him back there. Witness said that Kelly suffered from mental disorders and was attempting to carry out death threats against military superiors. He was already caught sneaking firearms onto his Air Force base. Faces court-martial later that year for cracking his stepson's skull and beating the shit out of his girlfriend. Pled guilty to choking his wife, pulling her hair, kicking her, striking her. Also admitted to striking the stepson with force likely to produce death or grievous bodily harm. He's also accused in the trial of threatening his wife with a gun on multiple occasions. Sentenced to 12 months, blah, blah, blah. He's investigated for rape and sexual assault. Cops are called to Kelly's parents' home after his girlfriend texted a girlfriend saying that her boyfriend was beating her ass and her arms were all red. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And so at what point does someone go, you know what, we got to make sure this guy's not around firearms? You know what I mean? And so I guess my broader point is, when it's very easy to just go, well, yeah, we need mental health, the stigma and blah, blah, blah. But it's like you also need family members to call on each other's family members. And that's not very likely. It's just, no one wants it. They all think he's a good boy. It's a misunderstanding. Yes, he beat her ass, but he's learned his lesson. He's a good boy.
Do those grounds concern you at all?
See, they don't to me because of, look at the surrounding area. Look how many trees there are. They probably live in the middle.
Who poured the concrete?
What's your problem with the concrete?
Why do you need that pointy end to that concrete driveway?
You don't.
Why don't you cut it? I don't.
Round it?
That bothers me.
Dude, it's not. Yeah, it does look a little weird.
What are you going to do with that point?
Rounded it off.
What are you going to do with the last 20 feet of that driveway?
Nothing. So okay. Here's your problem. Is this right? Is this a trash dump back here?
No, those are just rocks, probably.
Okay, rocks. So this is where you come in from the main road, right up here. And so they got this, and
no, he's right. It's set in land that is rough. It's not your typical like manicured. I thought that was when we first saw the image of it from before. I thought it was supposed to be in more of a manicured subdivision type area, but it's not. It's out in the country.
It's out in the
wilderness. So you can't expect them to have fertilized grounds.
Yeah, it wouldn't be out of line to be like this.
No, not at
what?
all.
So this is what a shed is that? What?
It's a pole barn, man.
Pole barn. What is this? Is this theirs too? This all has to be their property, right?
Yeah.
That's not a neighbor because I don't see a driveway going to it or anything.
It's possibly stables or something. I don't know.
That
yeah.
would be my
A
guess.
small barn.
Dude, I bet you're right. Riding
I'm
stables.
concerned about whoever poured that.
Yeah, it's a
concrete.
little weird, but I'm sure they did it for
What
a
if
It's a
reason.
they
weird
requested it like that?
parallelogram. I don't understand.
What if the dad's really into triangles and was just
Rhombuses,
like,
really.
Rhombuses, sure.
Rhombi.
Yeah, it does seem to kind of come to a dead end. Maybe they had other plans that just got held up, and we've stopped for the time being. It's a little disturbing, but I don't know that it would ruin my day.
Just a hell
like it's
of a
done
lot
to
of
yours.
concrete that's unnecessary.
Yeah, sure is. Maybe they like. Here's what it is. They don't want to have to back out, so they want to be able to back all the way up and then pull straight out.
Bag up, bag up.
All
I
right.
mean, you could bring a fucking semi in there and back it up. You could.
Yes, but dude, if this was rounded properly, you would have to back all the way, back up, and then you're backing up. No, this is meant so you can pull all the way back and then. And
Yeah,
then,
with an extra 100 feet.
it's not. I think you're wrong. I like it. I personally like it now.
There's more concrete on that property than the rest of the property. That's incredible.
Hey, did you see Louisville ex-coach Rick Pitino? See they apparently had knowledge of the payments.
Oh, my.
Shocking.
Alleged to have had.
Yes. I totally believe this story. Totally believe it. This is the only thing that makes sense. You know, that Rick Pitino would have no knowledge of, people paying off kids and their families to come to his school and, through Adidas, that whole story. So anyways, apparently he directed payments to potential recruits, according to an indictment that was just unsealed in the FBI's ongoing probe of corruption in college basketball. According to the indictment, the former sports agency rep Christian Dawkins claimed that he requested Pitino call Adidas exec James Gatto to ask for money in order to bribe the family of a recruit. Pitino allegedly agreed in a plot to pay the family of recruit Brian Bowen. That's the kid that you thought was going to state for a while?
Yeah.
The coach has never been charged, but the indictment does explicitly accuse Pitino of being aware and directly involved in the scheme to bribe the player's family. Yeah, he ended up getting fired with cause, which he's really pissed about because he loses like $44 to $55 million.
Oh,
Yeah.
Richard.
That's why he's like, without cause, without merit,
Of course.
That's fine. They can fire me all day long, but I have given them no cause to fire me. This would give them cause.
It would,
And so-
it would lend to that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Adidas made their bullshit statement, but yeah. Should we take a quick break, Jake?
Sure.
And do you know what day it is?
It's History Day. It's
sure
this
is.
day in history with Big E, and I'm looking forward to it.
Are you
personally.
prepared to get your learn on?
Yeah.
I am as well. E, do we have some visual aids?
I'm a visual
yeah.
learner, as you know.
I've heard that.
Yeah. It's not the best visual aids ever, but
Well, how about when we come back from break, we'll bust right into Big E's history.
Let's do that.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hi everyone, this is Kelly Menino, your event coordinator for the Hamlin Pubs. Did you know that Hamlin Pubs offer 2 private rooms at each location, both located in Shelby Township? We specialize in all kinds of events, from bridal and baby showers, dinner rehearsals, to corporate luncheons and wedding receptions. My team is committed to making your occasion your most memorable event. Give me a call today so that we can plan your next event. Call me at 586-596-1425 or visit our website at hamlinpubs.com.
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast, brought to you by DealsInTheD.com. Mike and Jay. Hey, I'm excited, man. Next week we're going to talk to Rude Jude.
Yes,
Got
sir.
a new book out called Hummingbird.
I like this book, man.
Dude, it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
It's something.
Do people know who Rude Jude is?
I think people might be going, wait a second, is that dude from Jenny Jones back in the day? I think people know who he is. He's on Sirius.
Sirius XM, yeah.
He's on Eminem's channel.
Shade 45.
Has a daily show. And talks a lot about Detroit area, Pontiac all the time.
Yeah, he's from here.
He's written a couple books, but this one, Hummingbird, I couldn't put it down, man. I really didn't expect to like it as much as I did, but
yeah.
It's so readable. It's just quick and
it's debauchery at its finest.
Yeah, but at the same, there are some deep moments in it too.
Oh yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I mean, it's really, it just keeps your interest, and there's short chapters, kind of little quips. It's almost like journal entries in a way.
Yeah, totally. So you can read, pick it up, put it down. You can
Yeah.
flip to any page and start there.
Yep.
And it's like childhood stories of getting beat up as a kid, then like doing horrible drugs with hookers.
Yeah.
You know, stories, and they're all mixed together. It's really funny, man. One of them I read last night was something like he gets a call from some chick he knows who's like, yeah, I need to go to the abortion clinic, and he's like, yeah, all right, I'll take you. And so he goes over there and he tries to fuck her because he's like, well, she's
Sorry,
and I
pregnant.
can cum in her. She's
Yeah.
already pregnant, so I can
It's like
nut
a
in her.
freebie.
It's a freebie, and so he's like, might as well before I take her over there, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he's got funny stories about chicks he meets, drug binges.
Oh, yeah.
It makes you wonder, honestly, how he's functioning. And
Yeah.
It's just like, dude.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
a lot.
brutally honest.
But it's a great read. I got to tell you, he's a good writer, and it's a great read. So we look forward to talking to him next week. It is Biggie History Day. Before we get to that, though, did you want to see, I don't know if you know, yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of Donald Trump winning the presidency.
Right.
And yesterday was the day
To scream at the sky.
we had to scream at the sky, and I feel like a dick. I totally forgot to go out on my porch and scream at the sky.
That's why he's still the president. Way to go, Mike. You
I know. Shit, it's my fault. Did you go out on your porch?
I didn't. I never
Or
intended
backyard?
to, no.
I know you were planning on
completely
it.
forgot. Honestly,
Dude.
I was gonna go drive around and see. I was gonna drive around the Milford Novi area and see if there was a lot of people yelling out at the sky or
Yeah.
not.
Well, did anyone else? Was there anybody that didn't forget? I mean, do we have any video really quick of anyone that was able to go out there and scream?
This looks to be New York or Boston, somewhere. Look at him go. A bunch of nuts.
Ah, look at these assholes. I think it's working though. Oh.
And then they went back to attacking him 24/7.
Yeah. No, good for them though. I mean, at least they're trying to do something. They're trying to be part of the solution. You know what I mean? Instead of
So
just
absurd.
bitching, they're actually going out and doing something about it. And so, yeah. Well, good for them.
This one was kind of funny, actually. This is just this is not from yesterday. She did this early. Like, apparently she did this about a week ago or so.
Why? I hope she was out there yesterday too.
Well, you hear the explanation. She
Grab
says,
out Trump Scream helplessly.
What?
this is supposed to be for Trump. This is just some shit.
Thank you.
Just sitting on a swing,
Yeah.
screaming.
Eating
Bag of
Cheetos.
Funyuns or something.
But this
I
is
believe
supposed
those are fire hot Cheetos.
Oh my God! Yeah, look
it.
at her
yeah.
thumb and forefinger.
Yep. Those are flaming hot Cheetos. I'm sure of it.
that's supposed to be for Trump.
You want to lick her finger, don't you? Right now.
I know. Yes, I do like that part.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Well, hopefully it works. Hopefully everyone feels better. You know, now maybe we can get back to just living normal life. Now that we got that out of our system,
Solved.
you know.
Problem solved. Hey, Big E isn't the only fool making news with his penis-softening dance skills and fundraising prowess. Zot Ford's in the game with its red-hot Clear the Lot year-end clearance event on all remaining 17 vehicles in stock. While supplies last, save up to 30% on a new 17 Ford F-150 Super Cab 4x4 that's nearly $13,000 off sticker, or lease that F-150 as low as $161 a month. Surf their outrageous deals and massive inventory at dealsinthed.com. Big E, are you ready?
Oh boy.
Sure.
This day in history with Big E. What do we have today, sir?
I don't know. Do you know yet what we're doing
I have
today?
no idea.
I don't either.
Well, it's kind of a weird, not a weird situation. The date is, so on this date, 1938, is the first recognized time in high school that someone had a Sadie Hawkins Day dance. although it was actually referenced a year earlier in this Little Abner cartoon strip.
So the first reference was a year earlier.
No, it happens in the cartoon strip a year earlier, and then this date, what is it, November 9th, is the first time that
Remind the unknowing or the unsure what Sadie Hawkins is. It's where the woman asks the guy to the dance.
Yes, the roles are reversed, and so the woman asks the man. And I know that you're right, this is not the day that it appeared in the cartoon, but it's the first recorded time there was a dance.
Okay, very good.
And it was very, so it comes out of this Little Abner cartoon.
Lil Abner or Little?
I believe it's
Lil.
Lil.
L-I-L, Little Abner. And here's the thing here. This is it pretty much was he did in his cartoon, it was a cartoon of a fictional town of a bunch of hillbillies. And this one dude, his daughter was 35 years old and still had no suitors. So he decides
She's
that he
gross though. Look at her.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
how ugly she is.
Yeah, hideous. They call her the homely daughter of Dog Patch's earliest settler.
Yeah.
She couldn't get a guy. I mean, I don't know what guy would take her up, you know?
So the dad just kind of says he tells makes it a proclamation to all the single men of the city that he's gonna have a race. It didn't start as a dance in any capacity. It was a race where the single guys in the town were gonna start in a line. He's gonna fire a gun. They were gonna run. Then he's gonna fire a second gun, and then the girls were going to chase the guys, and if you caught a guy, they had to marry you.
Oh boy!
Wow.
And it was really just for the ugly girls that didn't have any suitors at a certain age.
Interesting idea.
In the cartoon, he says the dad says, "Boys, since none of yo has been man enough to marry my daughter, I got to take firm measures." You see all the single guys there looking worried.
Gulp, gulp, gulp.
Yeah. Here's
she's gross.
Another
she's
depiction
gross.
of the them lining up for the race.
Sadie Hawkins' day dawns grimly.
Ooh.
So all these guys get ready to run their asses off away from ugly girls.
The rules is as follows. At the first shots, yo miserable, shivering, cowardly rats of bachelors runs for your lives. At the second shot, the beautiful Dog Patch Bells start a racing and a clawing and a screaming after yo.
So yeah, the thing is, like, a lot of people at some point people did think that this was meant to be like a women's empowerment thing, like, oh, this is trying to give the women the power, saying that you can ask guys out too, and that was so not.
But it was really just dads trying to get rid of ugly girls.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Wow.
And it ended up taking off after that. But like, he didn't plan on this being an original, ongoing thing in his cartoon. It was meant to just be part of his weekly strip.
Yeah,
and it got so popular that he ended up doing it every year, I believe, until it was done. It went 40 years. So another kind of interesting thing that we're talking about. No, this is kind of funny. So this dude who wrote it, his name was what's his name? Al Capp is the creator of this.
Al Capp.
And in the recent news with all the talks of the Weinsteins and whatnot, it might shock you, but this has been going on for quite a while. Al Capp had quite the history of sexual harassment claims.
Excellent.
Brought a lot.
What year was this again?
His thing the cartoon ran.
Are you talking about the 30s here when Al Capp was running wild?
The creator of Little Abner is just pulling puss left and right.
Little Abner went from 1930 until 1977.
Okay. I think it was legal to rape chicks from the 30s to at least the 60s.
And he was, dude, it was like, people say like he was very well known to have busty ladies in his drawings.
Go get it, Al.
And then where was this? There was a big one where it was allegations where he went to like he went to a college, University of Wisconsin, to do a talking, and he invited a 20-year-old student up to his room to talk about the business and stuff, and he may have forced her to have some oral sex.
That happens.
It's
a different day, guys. Different day.
He had quite the. I actually read this whole article about him where there was a big biography done on him, and like he was a very perplexing person. Like there was this whole comic strip guild, cartoonist guild or whatever. And he was known to quit this guild because they would not allow women in it. Yet he was very well known to sexually assault women.
Yeah.
So
that's Weinstein. I mean, he's out there marching right along with him at the Pussy Parade.
He wanted more hens in the hen house,
Hell yeah.
I don't understand how this came about. I did read this. I don't know exactly how, but it is known that somehow he coined the phrase hogwash and a double whammy.
Hogwash. Hogwash and double whammy.
He is
Wow.
he is credited for creating those terms into the vernacular. Hogwash and double whammy.
Hogwash. What does that mean? Hogwash. Is that like
That's
washing
bullshit.
your pig?
Ah, that's bullshit.
Hogwash.
There
That
was
ain't no good, you know. That's not
Yeah.
true. That's
the
not-
article.
What was the other one he coined?
Double whammy.
Double whammy. So, okay.
His little what was it?
Lil Abner.
Little Abner was very popular to the point where it also had a
Lil Wayne.
It also had its own theme
Oh,
park.
a spin-off?
At a theme park.
Wow,
The
excellent.
Dog Patch, USA.
1972.
And it was actually very popular. And then it didn't even.
Daisy May's hot.
Dude,
Fuck.
It didn't even close until 1993.
Where was it?
Shit, I did have that.
I feel like I'm learning very little about the Sadie Hawkins
I
Day
know,
dance, which happened for the first time this day.
I know.
1938.
Well, the lesson this week. Sometimes I can, I can take a lesson and pick a point if I want, and then delve into something deeper in that point.
Yeah, but why?
Well, that's what I've
why
chosen
are
to
we-
do.
Are they still doing Sadie Hawkins dances? I mean,
They are dying down,
Yeah,
I
is
guess.
that right?
Yes, I guess they are dying down, and there's more and more
I
articles
feel like I've
about
been seeing
saying
less of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
more and more articles saying that just because they don't, women shouldn't need to be told that they can ask a man out or this or that.
This really should have been the story of the life of Al Cap, who
Well,
maybe you
still
might
history.
remember did the Lil Abner book.
It could have
or
been
comic.
postured differently, where
Yeah.
this would have been an appropriate
I think it's
tangent.
very
one.
appropriate.
And it's like he was just a rapist and all that kind of stuff. But you might know him from his comic strip, Lil Abner.
Yeah, but instead he hooked us with this Sadie Hawkins thing.
Ah, you got
wanted
excited, I could tell.
I wanted to know more about that, and really, I've only
No,
learned
you
about
know what?
Al Cap.
I disagree 100%. I can pick a thing. Explain. I don't think anyone would have known that this is the first time in 1938 there was an official Sadie Hawkins Day dance.
I agree, and
It's not
there's not much-
Hawkins, it's Hawkins.
Well,
You're
whatever.
killing me.
I mean, what does Sadie Hawkins even mean?
It was.
You better have an answer for that. You better have an answer for what is
Who's Sadie
Hawkins
and who's
mean?
Hawkins, and what's the deal there?
Oh, for the love of everything. Are you shitting me?
I don't know that I know the.
Are you shitting me right now? You're doing a report on the Sadie Hawkins dance, and Jay asks, where does Sadie Hawkins come from? And you don't know?
I think I thought I had that.
For fuck's sake, man.
I don't want to hear from you again until you know where Sadie Hawkins came from. Are you shitting me? Jay, if you find it first, so help me, I will beat his ass.
I started
He got a
late.
2-minute head start on you.
No, we did not.
Yes, he started binging 2 minutes after you started binging. You know what I think this is, Jay?
Yeah.
Continue to type. You can multitask. I think E didn't really want to report on the Sadie Hawkins because he's never fucking been to one. He's never had a girl invite him to a dance. I don't think he's ever been to a dance before, even as a
It had to do
wallflower.
with the characters in the thing, and I don't. Sadie, I remember. Yeah, his daughter. His daughter was named Sadie.
Sadie Cap?
Yeah, Sadie Hawkins was created
No.
by Al Cap.
No, Cap is no. His daughter in the
Character Sadie Hawkins,
Yeah.
created by cartoonist Al Cap.
Yeah.
What is
I
Sadie?
just had a
Where did
brain
Sadie
fart,
Hawkins
okay?
come from then?
Well, characters. Where does anything come from? You name a
Where does
character.
Richie Cunningham come from?
I mean, I'm sure he had
point.
somebody. It did say that in the cartoon, a lot of the people were modeled after people from his family, like a lot of people do if they're writing art, I guess. It really fucking bummed him out that because near the end, his article or his strip in the paper went way down. Like at one point, it was big. It was like over not even just in America. It was over other countries. Like would print his
Lil Abner?
Little Abner and.
Was
but
it Garfield? Garfield
as a
take him
sexual
out?
assault. No, the sexual assault allegations.
So separate and apart from the Lil Abner angle, at its height, how popular was the Sadie Hawkins style dance?
Very popular.
Great question, because this
Very
is
popular.
Varied
essentially
quite.
Very
report
popular.
on Sadie Hawkins.
No, again, I have decided that my report the report found me, and what I found is
No,
that,
that grievance
yes,
is fine. You
no,
reports don't find you.
No, I'm doing a lesson. Sadie Hawkins dance came up, and I found more interesting was the
We
creator of
spin
the
off
Sadie.
on this
I don't
tangent
have-
about
no.
a comic strip.
You're
Bright,
still
shiny
learning
object.
something.
Bright, shiny
no,
object.
You are still learning about a figure in
My
American
God,
history
man.
that created something very big. That is asinine.
You started
No.
today marks the anniversary of the very
Well, and then
first
it went
Sadie
down this
Hawkins
way.
dance.
I would
We were
be
like,
fine
yeah.
with this E had you done it as follows. You represented as today's the Sadie Hawkins dance, the first one, and this is what a Sadie Hawkins dance is. This is how they're used. They're not as popular now. Blah blah blah. And did you know?
I disagree.
That it
It's
was
my report, and I
invented
can
by
do it
Al
however I want.
Cap.
Yeah, it's a tangent
Well, it's
that
not
should have been
your
identified
lesson.
as a
It's my
tangent.
lesson, and this is how I chose to do the lesson. And
But there wasn't a lesson. We didn't learn. We didn't learn anything.
That's bullshit. You
No,
learned all this
no,
about the
no,
guy who
no,
created the Sadie Hawkins
I
dance.
learned nothing.
No, we
Okay,
pried
fine.
it out of you, and you had to bing it. You
No,
didn't know.
No, not true.
It is true.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
Did you ever go to a Sadie Hawkins dance, Jay?
I don't believe I have.
I don't know that I have. Maybe in junior high. How many dances did you go to in your
None.
elementary, middle school?
None.
You can count both eighth
I've
grades.
never been to a dance.
And high school.
I've already told you. Stop asking, you
I
asshole.
may have in middle school been presented with a carnation and asked to a dance. I vaguely remember that situation.
I do remember that kind of too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
It might have
I
been a
think
Sadie
it was.
Hawkins.
Shit, there were so many dances that I went to.
So
I
many.
can't-
So many chicks.
I can't remember.
So many
all of them.
invitations to
Easy.
social events.
So you even in second, eighth grade, you didn't go. Like
No.
you would have been king of the class back then. You know, big
No.
guy on campus, oldest one, probably driving to school.
Fuck you, man. You fucking asshole. My history lesson was not bad, and now you're going to be a dick and do this.
I'm not. I didn't know you.
You're not. You're being
I
would
would have just assumed you went to the
You
Sadie
know, you
Hawkins.
already know the fucking answer, you asshole.
I didn't know the. I forgot.
Let's have a. Funny how you have a really terrible memory when it benefits you, and a positive memory when it benefits you.
What? Speak up, me. I can't hear you. Nicely done, E. That was great. That was great.
That was
I
good.
agree, it was.
It's good. Good stuff.
Hey, the Hamlin Pub supports the Detroit Cast. Let's make it a point to support them with locations in Rochester Hills, Clarkston, Chesterfield, 2 in Shelby Township. You know there's one near you. The Hamlin Pubs have great food, ice cold drinks, tons of craft beers, TVs, great entertainment. Come on by or book your reservation today at hamlinpubs.com.
Hey, did you see the video of the jockey punching the horse yesterday?
I did. Yeah, that was troubling.
Yeah, the guy's been suspended for 2 weeks.
What did that equine do to him?
I don't know. Yeah, the guy's name, the jockey's name is Dylan Kabachi, and the horse is Ronaldo's girl, and it's Ronaldo's girl. You want to play it there, E? Cocksucker. People want this guy banned.
So you got this little jockey stapled to the back of a horse.
Yep.
And the horse is being unruly.
Well,
as horses
yeah.
will do. God, the guy, that little tiny
Yeah.
son of a bitch
Did you
gets
see
off
that?
and throws a little wee punch into his midsection.
Yeah, he's a real dicklick, pardon my French. Yeah, that horse. Oh!
And if you think the horse, he's not going to feel a little jockey's punch, he absolutely
Look at
did.
this.
He jumps to the side.
He almost gets whiplash. His neck is flung back so fast.
Yeah.
That ain't right.
Well, it ain't the first time it's happened either, pardon my French. Happened one other time in the barn when I was just eating an apple and the guy came up and punched my belly 3 times. Pardon my French. I don't think he understands what pardon
Yeah,
my
I was gonna
French
say the
means.
horse. What does that mean?
Hey, he's a horse, dude. What are you going to do? What a dick
So
face.
this guy's been suspended or something?
Yeah. He's a this was at the South Australian race. Australian. Dylan was observed hitting his mount, Ronaldo's girl, ahead of the race at Port Lincoln. My actions behind the gates probably weren't the greatest. Well, yeah, good point, Dylan. Striking a horse is obviously not the right way to go about things. It was a blank brain fade, and it shouldn't have happened. So he's blaming it on a brain fade.
He's the victim of a brain fade. We can't blame him.
Yeah, so he's been suspended for 2 weeks.
What does that mean, practically, a suspension for 2 weeks? E asked this question
I know,
yesterday.
like, how often-
Is this circuit going every day? Like, honestly,
I mean, I guess you can
does
go
that
to what's
affect
that
the guy?
ham? Not ham. Where's that one, the track where there's a horse racing around here? I guess
Right.
you can go
Ladbrook DRC,
every day. I mean, I don't. I think it's open 7 days a week, so maybe you can.
Hazel Park.
Hazel Park. That's what I was thinking of.
They said that the race that he was about to get into was his first of 7 rides at that day at this track.
I mean, these little wee tiny mutant people are in demand, I would think.
Oh, for
you need
sure.
a small enough humanoid to staple to the back of these horses and ride them around the track in order to have your horse eligible to win.
Sure.
So I got to believe he is probably doing quite a bit of racing.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, they are in demand. I mean, a lot of them lost work when we lost Freddie Mercury. Remember?
Especially on an island nation like Australia.
Sure. Well, they have to. Without
just-
Fred Mercury here, remember he would put trays of Coke on their heads, and then they would walk around and people could just do lines off the tray on their head. You know, so there was a lot of work there, and honestly,
That's dried up.
That's dried up. Yeah, Fred was the guy that did that, and then when we stopped making Ewoks. That killed a lot of them. So a lot of these guys are scrambling. These are prize positions
Computer generation really changed the world for the wee people.
Yeah.
These little fidgets, you know.
Yeah.
So when they get work, they gotta keep the work, and so maybe 2 weeks is a big deal.
Yeah, and you know, we've talked about it a lot. When you see them off leash, I don't mean the horses. I mean the wisp of a person there. It doesn't surprise us that he's punching a horse.
No, they're
You know what I
usually
mean?
gnashing teeth.
Yeah, angry little sons of bitches, just angry. And so, you know, you hope that they've been well trained to do this job, but obviously this little son of a bitch wasn't. And, yeah, gnashing of teeth and punching and whipsing your horse. Jerks. Lastly, before we get to email, Jay, did you see the 3 wealthiest men in the United States are richer than half the population combined?
Wow, man.
Isn't that nice to hear? Holy Jesus, dude. Think
Wow,
about
wow.
that. Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, and Warren Buffett. Total wealth of $248.5 billion. That's more than around 160 million Americans combined. Bill is worth $89 billion, Bezos $81.5 billion, and Buffett $78 billion.
They saw a market need and they filled it.
Yeah, they did. I know. It's just so extreme that
unreal.
it's hard to wrap your head around. You know, they also found in this report that the 400 richest people in the U.S. are worth a combined $2.68 trillion, around the same as the gross domestic product of the UK. Our wealthiest 400 now have more wealth combined than the bottom 64% of the U.S. population, over 204 million people. That's more than the population of Canada and Mexico combined.
How many of those people can you just flatly assign privilege to versus, hey, these are risk takers, these are entrepreneurs who stuck their necks out, and God bless them, they made their billions.
Yeah, no, they did. I mean, there's no denying it. When you watch video of Bill Gates as a 19-year-old, genius, starting a company and building it to what it is, I know you're right. What do you want to do? I mean, we live in a capitalist society where get yours. Go get yours.
A lot of people would say, I don't want to live in a capitalist society.
Yeah,
I want part of that given to me.
It's just so obnoxious when you see it on paper.
Obnoxious.
It's like, are you kidding? Like, they're just staggering numbers. That's why I even bring it up.
Right.
But it's not like I want to take it from them. And the fact is, you've got Bill Gates and Melinda. I want to point that out. They've pledged, they've got these billionaire pledges where I think Gates did too, to give away 50% of their wealth.
They have severely pissed off their offspring. Severely.
Yeah, I think they'll be okay. I think
is it only 50%?
I thought it was actually more than that.
I thought it was 100.
I thought it was 95%.
Because isn't it the 100 Club or something? Or let's see.
It's a giving pledge. They said that to give at least half of their wealth to charity. That's what the thing that they created together in 2010. But I could have sworn it was 99 or 95%. Because then it was like, holy shit, if you're Bill Gates' son. But it's like,
get some scraps here
he's
and there.
fine. Don't worry. Bill Gates addressed it. It was like, look, we'll set the kids up. They'll be fine. They don't have to worry about it. But you don't want to give a kid $80 billion. I mean,
I know. How could that possibly go well, right?
Dude, I mean, they do say, I've read stories about it, and I think we've talked about it before, but like raising a kid with absolute extreme wealth like that is just as damaging to that kid as the most extreme poverties.
Is that right?
Yeah. That it's a different scale, but they're just not able to adjust.
Yeah,
like they can't possibly.
Second
adjust.
generation money is certainly motivated in different ways.
Yeah. Anyway, I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, this is race, relations and blah blah blah. These white men making all this money. This is where the problem comes from."
No, you could go through that list and probably find a bunch of privileged motherfuckers who just had that passed down to them from the Rockefellers or whatever, who are the ones who truly stuck their neck out, but. Those top guys, they risked it. They had an idea. They had a skill.
Yeah.
And good for them.
And played it through. Yeah. Didn't just like sit on, I made $1 million. Now I'm good. No, they kept it going. Anyway, what do we got going on in email?
Before I get to email proper, I would like to engage in the reading of Post, if I may. Pittsburgh. We're getting one from Pittsburgh. Lovely city. Yeah. Have you been there? I've driven through. I've never stopped.
You know what I remember is my dad had a friend that was living there. We went when we were kids. I think they had a farm or something. But I remember cobblestone throughout a lot of the main downtowners. I remember that being really, really cool.
Well, Tom writes
a lot of that.
Tom writes in with hugs and kisses. Hey, fellas, hello from the pit where everything is on a downhill. Lots of rivers, too, like 3 of them.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Lots of cool old buildings, which goes to your cobblestone recollection. Makes me think of what it would have been like to live in the 30s and 40s. Big E, if you could pick a time to live in, what would it be?
I actually have thought about it. I guess I don't know. The problem is I think I'd rather live.
We're gonna have a cogent answer. Yeah. Go ahead, Big E.
The reality is, I think I'd probably live here and now. I don't believe. But if it was some, nostalgia stupid thing, it would.
What about pirate times?
No, it would be Civil War times, I guess.
Really?
Or Revolutionary War. I'd like to be in America during the Revolutionary
No way.
time.
God, everything stunk.
Yeah.
God, your balls would be so itchy and just dirty.
Already.
Yeah, that's true. What am I talking
I'd fit right in.
Yeah. I'd like to go back to a time when we weren't yelling at each other all the time. Like, when was it that you could be white and proud and just be like,
Oh, no, you know what I want to go back
without
to?
people screaming at me and calling me a racist and a Nazi all the time.
Just the mid-'90s, man. When PC PC hadn't quite taken over, but we had technology. It was building a little bit. You could watch fucking wrestling, and they could goddamn have a steel chair to the head.
Show blood.
But you still had a car, and you could still, mid-'90s. I know that sounds like a dude who just wants to go back to his height, but mid-'90s.
I love the example you just threw out as to why.
Steel chair to the head was acceptable.
I've been in a wrestling kick
recently.
recently.
Get to come back? That's key to this, because if we get to come back to now,
that's a good point. I mean, if you only went back to the mid-'90s, you probably make it back to now.
I mean, I think I'm going on a raping spree in the 1800s. I mean, honestly, you know what I mean? A murder and rape spree.
Old West?
As long as I can come back here, I'd be like Westworld.
Yeah.
I'd be like that for sure.
If anybody hasn't watched Westworld, check that out. HBO, cool series.
Yeah.
But the idea behind it is that you go back in time, so to speak, to this theme park that's all Western, and you can do whatever you want.
Anything you want. You want to murder someone, murder them.
But I'll say
rape is really popular on the list there of things people want to do.
I'll say as far as when I would live, my favorite, if you haven't noticed from doing even the history, usually my favorite time period is absolutely like American Revolution to Civil War. That is my time I'm most interested in. It's a thing I have the most.
Very, very knowledgeable in those areas.
So shot. Oh, he would be shot so fast.
Oh, nonetheless.
What are you going to do? Go out to the battlefield and take pictures? Oh, that's a good-looking musket.
I don't know. It's
you
just
got
my
there,
favorite.
sir.
It's a
Can I
time
get a
I'm
picture?
most interested in history. So.
Amy writes in, concerning racial slurs, podcast heroes, and twinkle toes, I thought I'd email in to tell you guys of another story regarding racial slurs being written on a school campus. I have a friend who coaches football for the Air Force Academy. Ooh. They have a prep school that feeds into the academy, and a month or so ago there was an incident at the prep school whereby racial slurs were written on various lockers, etc. Of course, a massive investigation ensued, and wouldn't you know it, the culprit was one of the black students and, quote, victims of the incident. Like, what in the actual fuck?
Yeah.
I can't believe there are so many of these stories out there. What exactly are people trying to accomplish? Start an uproar? Make things seem worse than they really are? It doesn't seem like it's contributing to any kind of positive change. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a dumb blonde engulfed in white privilege.
True.
Yep.
The only thing I can use to explain away all this ridiculous behavior is that people in general fall into one of two categories. Assholes or complete fucking morons. That is all. Goodbye, BUI for now. Sincerely, pro-period trivia champion, Amy.
Wow, very good. She was awesome.
Now, I think a lot of it is like that victimhood, like, oh my God, I've been a victim. And then it also is to rabble-rouse and stir shit.
Yep, I think both of those points are right, and I think a lot of it is sympathy. I'm a victim, look at me, oh, you poor thing, I hope you can get over the, there's, it's terrible, though.
I saw some fake news via the Twitter sphere, I believe, a couple nights ago, suggesting that TDC fed trivia answers to the current pro-period trivia champion. Yeah, it was sort of like a... It was like a Donna Brazil CNN type allegation.
I'm not denying that.
Fake news.
I don't know for sure. I don't know what Big E did. I can't speak for him.
No, you know what? I'll have you know for a fact that I was.
Were you rooting against her openly?
I was reached out to by some people in the trivia, and I 100% said I will not.
Are you
give
serious? People reached out for the questions before.
There was people that reached out to say
and
I did not give anything.
Interesting.
I will promise you
the
that.
The problem is you're a known liar. So we'll have to get him drunk to see if he ever owns up to this. We won't know until next time he's shit-faced. And secondly, you had all the motive in the world. You absolutely despised one of the contestants. You did. So there's motive, and you're a known liar. So I can't take your word for it right now.
Nick writes in, the story of the Asian man totaling his car trying to get his pregnant wife to the hospital was awesome. Walter's Asian impression never gets old.
Oh. Well, thank you very much. Very good. Call 911, please. Call 911. 911.
Mike writes in, fat ass, smug ass, and dirty ass.
Fuck.
Just got done listening to number 933.
I'm fat ass, right?
Oh, he's a little behind. I'm definitely the smug ass. So.
Yeah. Dirt ass.
He's a little upset after listening to number 933, says, Mike, let me start off by saying that I love the show. I use the Amazon link religiously. I bought my pillows using the TDC code,
but
donated to Biggie's SOS fundraising during his 24-hour studio takeover, and send you guys postcards from all over the world. But I recently sent you guys another card from Germany. Sorry that the boobs were a repeat. I listed a fun fact about the average breast size in Germany being a D cup. Imagine my shock when I heard you guys saying that I made up the fact.
Well,
we didn't say he definitely did. We questioned it. We thought, wow.
How would you know
average?
That? Yeah.
Average
of a
D? Fuck.
So for every A, there's a fucking G cup running
Yeah,
around?
right.
And, I mean, it seemed wholly unbelievable.
It just seems large.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gentlemen, I will have you know that I spend countless seconds, if not minutes, finding a fun fact to share with you to brighten your day, to expand your knowledge. I will Bing and even sometimes Google furiously to find something interesting. And for what?
Why aren't you binging average cup size, titty size in Germany?
Because something's going on social media on his phone right now.
Doing my own thing over here.
This is not the first time you have doubted my facts, says Mike. Capone was in a prison band at Alcatraz. The character of Biff was based on Trump, and now you doubt my 2-minute search on German cup sizes? Why do I put myself through this? Please keep in mind that I research each fact I send you. I've even thought about doing E's history homework for him.
Wow.
Don't do that. Anyway, keep up the great work. I'll keep sending you cards as long as you're reading them. Hopefully, you'll stop doubting me. Bye, BUI for now, Mike.
Well, I guess maybe he should, provide, what do they call that at the end of an article where they provide their source? Can you source your...
Oh, a little footnote with your source. Yeah, that would
just
that'd
source
be helpful.
it. I mean, and then we can just quickly check it, because the last thing we want to do is pass fake news or false information.
Yeah.
Just source your work.
Jeff writes in, King, Queen, and Eric. I know it was a throwaway comment the other day, but I have questions. While discussing what kind of poop the bear ate off Mike's floor...
Yep.
Recall that incident? We were
Sorry
talking about the
that.
quadrupeds
Yep.
running down here being unruly.
I was hungry. I was. I'll admit it.
Bear just ate a couple turds. I mean,
Yeah.
flat out, just two
I'm
turds on the
proud
ground.
of it. I didn't say I was proud of it.
Eats it right up.
Yeah.
Mike said at that point that his cat had a larger than normal butthole. Now, I'm not trying to shame anybody, but why in the world does a 52-year-old man who lives alone have a cat with an abnormally large butthole? I'm sure he has a perfectly good reason for this.
Well, I stick my penis in it all the time. It widened. What do you expect?
I just hope he's not getting low on fluids, Jeff.
No, I'll admit, I in a moment of, I felt defensive. I felt like I was on the ropes, and I just threw that out there.
Oh, my
Like,
God.
fuck
Yeah,
you,
no.
dude. My cat's butthole's bigger than your cat's.
Because that turd was huge.
It wasn't
Dude,
that
it was like a
huge.
fucking cigar. It was
No,
like...
your cats are wee. That's the problem.
It does, by the way, this is one map I looked up. I think that's Germany, and if you look at the thing here.
Wow.
D.
Son of a bitch.
Look, it's just surrounded by seas.
No, because then that means North America averages a D cup. I don't buy it. Or if people gotten so fat that we're producing a lot of D cups now. Because it looks like Alaska and North America also have an average of D cup.
If I'm reading that correctly. Yeah, but then isn't that weird? You go just north of the border to our neighbors to the north, and they're averaging a C.
But
that is odd, though. Like, look, Germany's
I've looked at-
surrounded by seas.
I looked at
Yeah.
another map, and it looked to be the same to me.
Wow.
All right, what's going on with the memories?
I don't know.
Howard writes in, Howard the Walmart greeter, you may know him as, ex-Scrooge, dancer, and Santa. Greetings, Howard the Walmart greeter writing in. It appears that, yet again, the Democrats are following Saul Alinsky's mantra in never letting a good tragedy go to waste. Of course, he's talking about the shooting in Texas. I'll just take issue with this real... Why can't the other side, Howard the Walmart greeter, point out gun control when one of these shootings happens? It is a distinctly political issue.
Yeah.
Like, what do you... I just don't like when, boy, the bodies aren't even cold and we're talking about gun control. It's a gun control issue. It's
Yeah.
the issue.
Yeah.
And
no, I know that makes a lot of sense.
I'm not saying I agree with that side. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
why aren't they going to bring that up? It's a perfect opportunity to bring it up. Look, another mass shooting.
Yeah, and so if you're a fan of the right, if you're on the right, you're going to get inundated with everybody on the right saying the same thing, going, the bodies aren't even cold yet. We're bringing the way to politicize. Like, so if you're watching that all the time and you're getting pounded with that, you're like, yeah, why are we politicizing this? But it does actually make sense that you would go, when else would you do it?
Right.
Like, it makes sense to mention it.
The first thing that comes to mind, right?
Yeah.
Like, how did this happen is what comes to
Right.
mind. Holy shit, how did this happen?
Yeah.
Like, wow, the guy had a semi-automatic rifle. Wow, half the country thinks he shouldn't have even had that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then there's a reasonable response by half the country going, this shouldn't have happened. If he wouldn't have had that weapon, it couldn't have happened.
And I think I don't mean to speak for you, but I will. Both of us think that when the left does that, it's bullshit. They don't have a solution or anything, and they totally know that nothing on the books would have stopped this, or most
Yeah.
of them. And so
My objection to this is purely to just say, dude, why can't they bring up the issue?
Yeah.
It's their issue, you know?
Yep, it's a big deal to a lot of those people.
So
And
Howard
it's never gonna
continues.
stop.
Howard continues. As a former elite military member, as a happily retired member of the sheriff's office, as a husband and as a father, how would I react to this situation? What are my thoughts after yet another event like this, you ask? Easy. My answer is to never allow anyone to take away my rights to defend myself and my family due to the hostile actions of another. Evil men do evil, period. It's not doorknobs killing people, though people have been murdered with doorknobs. It's not scissors. It's not baseball bats. It's not guns. It's simply the tool. It's not the tool. It's the bad person. Until we can brain scan people to avoid future crimes, Tom Cruise movie, anyone?
Minority Report.
We will not be able to stop evil from doing evil. We are reactionary to evil and the things it does behind the masks of religion, hate, mental status, government, you name it. Once people can accept the fact, then we can move forward.
I know, but the argument against that is, okay, well, if the guy's got fucking a 9mm with, 10 bullets in it, he can't kill 500 people.
No, that's exactly
You know
right.
what I mean? Like,
you can't,
the problem is...
you can't expect the other side to sit on that fact. Like, dude, these are killing machines.
Yeah. I mean, there is very
It's not
little
a
reason.
doorknob.
I understand why you go, nope, I'm not giving an inch. I lost the Dukes of Hazzard when we gave an inch on the fucking Confederate flag. I'm not giving a millimeter on the gun thing. Fuck you, go away, leave me alone. But it's very hard to argue with why someone should have something capable of spitting out 500 rounds in a minute and having that much ammo and reloading and just fucking going on the aisle of a church and mowing people down. Like, that's... Dude, this doesn't happen if someone's got a 9mm. I'm not saying take away people's guns. I'm not saying that at all. But I get the argument.
Yeah.
I get where people are going, dude, you know what? Fuck, if you shoot 6 people, okay, evil is what it is. But having the capability to mow down 1,000 people in a movie theater is, there's a difference.
The rules, quote unquote, the Constitution is what it is at this point. But I wonder how many people, if they could go back and like start over, knowing what weaponry is today, would do it differently or put some restrictions or something.
Yeah.
Just wonder.
I don't know. Most people think, no, this was put in there so that if our government gets out of line, we can take care of ourselves. And
That's exactly why it was put in there.
Yeah. And so I get it. I get why people are like, fuck you, man. I don't trust any of you sons of bitches. And the last thing I'm going to do is give up the right to defend myself. And the fact is, won't happen. I know people like to think that that's a possibility. This country would go ape shit if you tried. Like, you want to see real,
this is
not pussy party in the streets, real shit going down in the streets.
It's an unsolvable problem because the toothpaste is out of the tube.
Yep.
Can't do anything about it.
Nope.
You can't brain scan evil people, as Howard the
Not
Walmart
yet.
creator says.
Not yet.
Soon.
What would you do if you scanned me and it was like, oh man, he's got all fucking hallmarks.
Put you down.
All
We'd
there.
put you down
yeah, I'd be cool with that though. If it went, Mike, I'm sorry, your report came back. You've got see these 3 black dots in
And
your
you'd
head right
believe it,
here.
too.
You'd be like, fuck, really?
Yeah.
It's like not guaranteed that you're gonna do it, but if someone in this room was gonna do it, it's gonna be you. You're gonna go into a kindergarten and mow a bunch of people down.
Yeah.
It's like, well, fuck, we got to take me out.
And
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, you'd be complicit with that.
Totally, absolutely.
Thank you for that attitude.
Yeah.
We'll save the rest
hold me
for
to
Monday,
that.
Mike.
Very good. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend. Who do the Lions have? Do we have the schedule there? I always want to know going in. Is it Cleveland? It might be Cleveland.
It's Cleveland at home. If they don't win that game,
Cleveland in Cleveland or in Detroit?
Cleveland at home.
Cleveland at Detroit. Say versus. Cleveland versus Detroit means at Detroit. There you go. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll do it again next week. We'll see you then.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.